Greatness recognizes greatness. Magnus Carlsen and Garry Kasparov, two of the ultra legends in chess. Garry Kasparov was doing commentary in the Superbet Rapid and Blitz event. When Magnus Carlsen lost to Gukesh, Garry Kasparov gave a defining statement. Because when he lost, Kasparov mentioned, now we can question Magnus's domination. When Kasparov says it, you have to agree with it. Now you have to question Magnus's domination. This is not just the second loss to Gukesh, it's a convincing loss. It's not a miracle. Gukesh didn't benefit from Magnus's terrible mistakes. It was a game that was a big fight. There was no blunder in the game. You could argue in the Norway Chess Classic, yes, Magnus did make a blunder. He miscalculated his knight, and that's where Gukesh pounced on it and won the game. But here it was clinical. It was sublime. No errors were made. And Gukesh, within moments, pounced on Magnus's inability to make a decision with the C6 file, and that's it. He was beaten well and truly in a dominant way. But he also criticized Magnus Carlsen's mindset, and he's also praised Gukesh because Kasparov, he's praised Gukesh by saying his resilience reminds me of computers. Why is that computer analogy there? Because if you are playing against a computer, one bad lapse in concentration, you're done for. And that is what Gukesh has done. Check out how he won the World Championships. Check out how he won Norway chess against Magnus. This is how it's done. Gukesh is the kind of player you have to beat multiple times. Carlsen came here looking for revenge after Norway chess, and that's never a good mindset. If you have to look at it, Magnus Carlsen is posturing like he's got a cool exterior, it doesn't matter. But he's seething. Because Gukesh has upstaged him in Norway, he's beaten him even now. He's now not showing desperation to win. He now wants to humiliate the Indian chess players that is there. How can these kids come on my turf? That is the mentality that Magnus Carlsen's having. It's not a bad mentality, by the way. In the big world of chess, you have to make your mark and you have to beat some of the greatest sharks that's there. One was Kasparov, the other was Carlsen. Which is why the revenge mindset will never ever work. Trust Kasparov to say that from the Soviet school of chess, where the competition was so cutthroat. Just ask all the others who played Kasparov. Revenge, when you have to plan for it, they are ice cold and they are calculating. Magnus is kind of deserting all that, and if he doesn't get that revenge thing out of his mind, he may succumb to more losses. But remember, he can make a comeback. In Blitz, Magnus remains the ultimate beast. He can do it even now. After the rapid leg, you have 2 days of Blitz. Let's see how that pans out. So thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this video. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.